Barbershop with Q.
Oh, okay.
John, the Magnificent.
I'm with that.
I was just trying to amp it up, you know?
Okay. Grind me thirsty, bout it, you heard me. Grind me thirsty, bout it, you heard me. Grind me thirsty, bout it, you heard me.
Live at the Barbershop.
Welcome. Good night. Friday, we're back. A lot of things have been happening in the world since we last spoke. So, before I go any further, I want to give condolences. Christopher Wallace's mom, Valletta Wallace, passed last week. We didn't get a chance to officially say it when it happened. Also another icon, Roberta Flack, passed away also. So, and condolences again to AP and his family, or his family members as well. And I want to give a shout out also to a couple of key people that are always supportive from behind the scenes. So shout out to my cousin Jennifer Shavs, my uncle Uhuru. So everyone out there would say, who? Uhuru. Okay. Hey, remember Star Trek? There was a black Uhuru. Okay. So he's the male version of that one there.
They're gonna hit you with a
I beg your pardon.
The official African name. Okay. Shout out to Malik that's in town and his girlfriend. Be safe. I'm gonna see you in a couple. And to everyone else, of course. You know I can't leave my man So Chill's always been there day one. MD and the whole family. All right. So everybody on the West Coast as well. What's good? So without further ado, I am Dolo Solo. Q is
under the weather.
Yeah, the change of weather caught him. So I'm your host for the night. My name is John. I'm about to bring my co-host in and our special guest back again. Shout out to my man AP. AP is in the building. What's good?
Greetings, family. Greetings.
Gummy bears.
Greetings.
What's good?
Gummy bears. Crazy. That's a crazy one. No gummy bears tonight, though.
You know what it is? We're going to give you a countdown when you eat. And we say, 10, 9, 4. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Whatever.
I know you don't hear no.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. All right, our guest for the night, back in the flesh, fresh as always. I have Kate Smith back in the building again to help us with the discussion for tonight. Kate Smith, what up?
Hi, everyone. Hi, John. Hi, AP.
How you doing? Good night.
I was just about to be good night.
I know. I said, I said I had to have you on for this little discussion real quick. I know I caught you at the last minute, so that's why you don't have the video for tonight, because AP said normally she's fresh to death. I said that's Jerry's in the building, of course. But all right. So tonight's discussion, the financial blackout for today. So, is it going to affect anything? Is it a start, or are we just fooling ourselves?
I definitely believe it's a start.
It's a start. It definitely is a start.
And it was similar to the skyrocket in 1960 when Martin Luther King, in his I've been to the mountaintop speech, he asked the Black communities at that time to boycott Wonder Bread, Coca-Cola, and Hart's Bread because they wouldn't hire Black people. And so that was the start. That was before the boycott on buses.
Right.
So it's definitely a start. And from the news and from what I've been hearing and the videos I've been seeing from people that work in retail, we did some damage today.
Okay.
Really?
So that's the thing. What I'm saying. So all right. So here's the thing now. H&M, Louis, Gooey, Mooey, you know, Hermes, or what's the other ones? Balenci, all these brand names that are billionaires and stuff like that. Can we hold out long enough to really damage? Because a one-day situation, we understand. Yes, revenue is revenue at the end of the day, and they're always looking to say, we made such and such today or whatever. But how can we really, really put a dent in the situation?
Man, I don't want to be a deadbeat downer, but today did nothing in totality of everything. Because if you're trying to hurt billionaires, one day is doing nothing because they're still billionaires. Elon Musk lost about $40 billion watching his stock go down about 20 something percent. He's still the richest man in the world. It still doesn't affect their bottom dollar because they know that the next day is not going to be a boycott. Now, if we were talking about, hey, we're going to boycott until there is a change, now that's something totally different. I mean, Montgomery happened for 381 days. And I understand, yes, this is a start, but collectively, it wasn't a hit because all I had to do was drive by Walmart's
And see the
and
parking lot.
Home Depots and all these other places that were supposed to be from McDonald's to like all these places still had an influx of people going to it.
But
That may
AP,
be different in different parts of the
Hold up.
country.
Hey, AP, hold on. Something's going on with your mic.
Yeah, I heard. Look,
Check your Wi-Fi.
what about now?
Still going
out.
Check your Wi-Fi and make sure it's all.
Now,
Yeah, it's back in and out. It's still going in and out.
I tell you, whenever AP,
AP, when you dropping the sign, somebody pressing the buttons. I don't know.
but AP,
Kate,
just like we,
I'm gonna
AP,
try to
just
fix it
like
out. Kate, go ahead and say what you're saying.
yes, sweetie, thank you. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Kate.
Oh, but just like you were saying, you saw an influx of people, but you know who those people was because the same people. Okay, so we're telling people not to, but the other side is telling people to support the store and the sport support them even harder because we're not supporting. So there's going to be that. But what I saw and what I've heard was it was all skin folks that are feeling like we're feeling that did not shop today.
Right.
So that right there speaks volumes on how we're slowly coming together. Having this man in the White House is making all races come together like cousins because he's affecting all of us.
Well, again, here's the bad part about it, right? Someone voted for him, right? And then what makes it worse, if you didn't, you're in a trap. Trapped for 4 years. You understand? So this blackout situation today, it's a start, yes, but I don't see the urgency from our community. I don't see the urgency as far as to say that we will no longer support this or this lifestyle that we're living. We could bring it down a notch. to just get something accomplished for the future generation. That's where the selfish portion of things are different now than it was back in the days.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
comfort zone is what a lot of the retailers understand, and because of that, don't worry about it. They'll be back.
But you know what? Because of that, tomorrow's going to be something different for the low income community, because just a couple of days ago, they thought they were getting a $5,000 stimulus check. But that has changed to where Trump has announced that he will not give a $5,000 to low income people because they would just spend it. Who he's going to give this money to is people that are at a certain salary bracket, because those people will save it. So now, so this is just so funny, because that was the main argument from our culture on why they were voting for him. When he didn't give us a stimulus check, every president has done that when the economy was going tanking down. So they have to give you something to stimulate it.
Wow.
And by giving you that money, they knew he was going to spend it to stimulate the economy.
All right, so Howie G just chimed in. Let me see what he said. Don't know if people realize this, but in 2025, boycott speeds up human job loss with automation replacement.
Yeah.
Something to think about. Something to think about.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if it speeds it up, because regardless of what, it's coming. You know, regardless of what is coming. Right now, I saw something the other day. They had these AI cameras, right, that are placed over the workers, and they could tell the productivity for each individual worker simultaneously. So if AP is moving, you know, at 1,000 miles an hour, let's say Kate and I we're just chilling, you know, we're in bro man mode. The camera assessed everything and could tell, you know, our work skills and how what it means for that company.
That was the one in
you know,
coffee.
Starbucks,
shop.
one of these, one of these companies here, and that's where it's going. And I think people don't understand, this boycott is not really just something to say, oh, we're just not going to buy anything from the big retailers for today. We're only dealing with mom and pops and different that. There's not too many mom and pops anymore. You see what I'm saying? The brick and mortar situation is slowly becoming a dinosaur.
Yeah.
And try and remember now, we are part of the problem. Here's the deal. Let's look at just even two juggernauts by themselves and why one is surpassing the other. You have Amazon and you have eBay. eBay, right? And even with eBay and Amazon, I remember at one point these two were gunning at each other at one point. Amazon now is eBay's like passe. That's like what was the thing back in the days when you used to buy a thing before OfferUp? What was it called? Where they were selling people, you know, people. Nah, Craigslist.
Yeah.
Craigslist.
You know what I'm saying? Like Craigslist. The problem with it now, we want it now. You know what I'm saying? We want it even when we were on Amazon and it says can get it there tomorrow. Oh damn, tomorrow? Can't get it there in an hour? You understand what I'm saying? Because they know the psyche. They understand what we're about now as a human race. It's not even a black and white thing. It's a human race thing. And it's them against us. Because again, with everything else, stimulus packages and blah, 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 these are all test runs. I just want to see how they react. Gas price goes up tomorrow. Oh, it goes down tomorrow. The day after. Oh, you want to go on vacation? We bring it back up. You know what I'm saying? I had a friend of mine that he does stocks. I'm not gonna put your name out there. Shout out to D. Trini. Right? And we
Black
had a
Republican.
huh?
Nah.
Nah, my man. Roger said he's a Trini. All right. So I can say his name. It ain't no big deal. Shout out to Darryl. What up? So we were having a conversation, and then he's explaining, he's breaking down the economy and the stocks, and this. And I said, listen, you gotta tell me nothing. At the end of the day, you know what it is? You're trained. They trained you to recite all these things in your head and get an understanding. Numbers is numbers at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, someone controls the numbers. Someone controls the numbers. Yeah, I'm still trying to fathom this whole stock market situation. You understand?
It's a whole nother episode.
I don't even want to.
What are you trying to
What part?
fathom? This
Yeah.
this yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I'm just trying to figure out now what is causing. We understand sales and blah 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 and all this other stuff. This goes up, that comes down. This guy comes in the office, this thing does well or it does bad. All these different things. My analogy of it, there's someone sitting up way up in the skyscraper somewhere in the Alpines. Okay. And they're just like, yo, I'm bored today. Put the economy at this or the interest rate at that. Let's see what they do. You know what I mean? Because this whole thing just don't make no sense to me. One day you can say, all right, gas price is gonna be $1.99, and then by tomorrow it's $3.99. Like, what happened in between?
The gas is easy to explain. That's just
Well, I do
barrel.
understand the gas, but I'm still saying someone's still in control.
I mean, someone's gonna always be in control, but the stocks go off of probabilities, right? So if you think that something's gonna be better next week, then you're gonna go ahead and invest now so you're good when the investment goes up of next week, for example. So for the example of like the Trump situation, right? Everyone thought that he was going to make the economy boom just right when he gets in, right? So what did they go do? The individuals that had the money went ahead and invested in certain stocks. Once they saw Tesla, for example, once they saw Elon was really in the mix with the government, the stock for Tesla went up from 249 dollars to a ballooning of 424.
Yeah.
And now it's at 261.
Right back down to where it began.
No, not where it began. It's $26 away from where it began right now. Right? $26. Now, that amount right there is a cool 40 billion, about realistically about $40 billion loss, right? But guess what? That's nothing for them, right? It's the same way Trump with his Trump coin. He went ahead, had it out there, and if you know, you weren't able to buy the Trump coin or invest in the Trump coin unless you had some insider information to be able to invest and watch that thing balloon, to get your money to balloon and take it out before it flattened out. All those things have gone down.
It's like a pump
right?
and
Because
dump.
yes, it's exact that the coins are exactly a pump and dump.
Pump and dump.
Even though they're not supposed to be used that way. And if you really had regulation on it, then people would really get, charges on them. But right now, you don't have the individuals that are policing these things because they all got fired.
Yeah.
Right.
Strategic game plan.
Yeah. So it's working. It's working directly into their plan. Because listen, man, what we're watching is, for years we've been told that everything is supposed to happen this way, and this thing can't happen that way, this and that, right? But we're watching in front of us right now that things are happening how they want them to happen. So on the flip side, we're seeing that we were fed a lot of BS. We were fed a lot of BS because there's a lot of things that are happening right now that I never thought I'd see, right? Or hear, but they're being done, right? Where, when you get into power, you see, even when Biden was still to his last day, he was doing the whole bipartisan thing. Man, listen, when it comes down to it, Democrats still have racist people in the Democratic Party. There's still racist people in the Democratic Party, right? So understand there's still some people that are Democrats that want to see the status quo go back to what it was, but they're not going to say it or act on it that way because it's not going the route that it should go. But it's just like using the analogy of a teachers union. You can choose to work with a teachers union or not working with teachers union to pay into it. But no matter what, you're going to benefit from what the teachers union does, whether you pay in or pay or not, right? So, you got to be mindful of these things that it's not like all the racists are only on one side, or all the people that have the white supremacist mind, or the whole point of, man, this is a whole class warfare to make sure that their numbers don't go down, don't get dwindled, and that their kids can have something, because at the end of the day, they got about 4 more years and they will not be the majority in this country.
So let me ask a question, because and Kate, maybe you can let us know in your state, also in your town and everything, if you're seeing the same thing. Because I know out here, AP, for us, there were a lot of black-owned restaurants, even with celebrity backing. And I know one particular one that we used to go to all the time, and a lot of them went out of business. They don't get the support, huh?
Which one?
Well, the one that we used to normally go to is Honey Unlimited, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's down in Miami. There's another one, I forgot the name of it, that Dwayne Wade was backing. But again, even with him,
spot?
Huh?
The pizza spot?
Yeah. Then there was another one I recently just heard, the Rabbit Hole up in Pompano. So I read an article. There was about 10 recently, 10 last year that went out of business because of low support from the black community.
Yep.
There's only one out of the 10. Hold on a moment, Kate. There's one out of the 10 that's in Coral Springs, and that's because that's a mixed area that's still supported. Mind you, it's the same owners, but the one in Miami just wasn't flourishing. But go ahead,
Talking about
Kate.
Brandon's?
It could be.
Smith and Walensky's. I mean, Smith and Webster's people.
Could be.
Yeah.
Kate, you had something to say?
Yes, I live in Durham, North Carolina, so the Research Triangle area, and there's a lot of black restaurants. Even well, not just black restaurants, because I have a friend that's Indian, and she has a restaurant, and I used to own the restaurant, and I think that was when I was put in the newspaper for owning my restaurant, that someone came to me and said the worst thing I ever did was posting that I was black. And it was. She wanted me, she said, you should have had a white woman say that she's the owner and you're the manager.
You know, it's crazy. A friend of mine, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm guilty of it. A friend of mine in New Hyde Park in New York had a furniture business out there. And when he opened it up, I suggested the same thing. I told him, I said, if I was you, get yourself an older white gentleman and have him sit down up front. Because again, in that area, it's predominantly white. You have a few blacks here and there, but it's predominantly white. And the ones that come to those local furniture stores and different things of that, like what's his name? Howard Stern's co-host and stuff, Baba Booey and a bunch of them. They used to come through, and I'm guilty of it. Now, when we make a suggestion like that, is it wrong, or are we playing into the bias situation, or are we playing it smart by doing that? That you don't need to see who the Wizard of Oz is. Just pay me.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because again, some may look at it like, well, why shouldn't they know who I am and blah blah blah? But it's chestnut checkers at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, to me personally, I could care less if they think I'm the owner or not. The revenue's there. If he's up front, I'm signing the checks. I don't care. You understand? So it's the
Sad
same
to
thing. Like,
say,
go ahead.
sad to say, our people feel more special when they believe that they're getting something from someone else that's not them. There's this brand called Milano.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys have seen it on a lot of, you know, some youth and a lot of these like housewives and stuff, black housewives and
Okay.
some of the black
Yeah.
shows, and you'll see a Milano written on it, and it
Yeah, I
says
have.
Italy on the bottom, right?
Mm.
This young lady's from Philadelphia, black,
Mm.
never been to Italy, still to this day,
Smart.
never.
Mm-hmm.
But she understood that if she put
Branding.
Italy, Paris on it, that our people would go ahead and start buying it. And it wasn't until after the pandemic and the thing was hitting, skyrocketing and everything, that people found out that Milano is owned by this black young lady,
Mm.
right? So there's something with the psyche of our people when it comes down to certain things. But if you're somebody that's in business and you're in business to primarily make money, then you go the route of doing that, because they've gone the route of doing that with us for so long. You know how many people thought Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue was black? You know how many people thought that Uncle Ben's rice was really owned by Uncle Ben's,
Yeah.
right? And Aunt Jemima and
Yeah.
all these other brands, right? Like, because they have the black face to sell it,
Mm.
right? So it should be done vice versa.
Right.
And I'll give you an example. My
Yeah.
parents had a business, a shopping center that they bought in Little Haiti, and this was
Mm.
in the late 70s, early 80s, and at that time they were hard pressed to find black owners of any establishments. So
Mhm.
they had the Jewish individual front like he was the the the
The
owner.
owner. Right.
So he would be the person going out and collecting the funds and stuff like that. And boom,
Mm.
it was working. And then years later, my parents said whatever it was, and they must have told the people that, oh, they bought it from that individual and this and that. And once that started happening, I can remember that the same very people that were paying on time, had no excuse, no nothing, now started having reasons why they weren't paying
Hey.
on time and this and that.
Mm.
Sometimes we are just hyped about the moment, because I remember even when Peter Thomas had a restaurant in
Yeah.
Kate's
Yeah.
area, right?
Mm.
And you know, bar
Or
one,
one. Yeah.
right? And for a minute, everything is so hyped. When we had Finger Licking opened up here, it was so
Mm.
hyped for a minute. That place was packed,
Yeah,
packed, packed, packed,
Yeah.
packed. Now
yeah.
they got to change all their locations to lounges because you can sit outside and try to count to see how many people go in. But if you go down to Chili's stay packed,
Yeah.
right? But,
It's a price. It's pricing too.
I mean,
See,
pricing is another thing, because I saw something the other day, well, yesterday, that said, um, why is it that our businesses outprice outprice our clientele, but then you could go down the street to a Duffy's. If
mhm.
you're in Florida, go to a
Yep.
Duffy's or Hooters or Flanagan's and stuff like that, and their prices are not even what it is right now. You try to go to get a conch salad at the new place that E Class and them opened up. A conch salad sandwich is $15.99.
Yeah. That's just a sandwich.
Yeah, sandwich.
That's just the sandwich,
No
right?
sides. No
And
drink.
also,
Yeah.
if you go to Atlanta and look at the regular spots to get an oxtail or a
Oh, forget
salmon,
that. Yeah.
or the lamb chops,
Mhm.
right? Come on, man. I know how much it costs to get a whole rack of lamb chops, right? About $18, $24, but they'll sell you the whole three lollipop
Yeah.
lamb chops for like 30 something dollars.
30 something dollars. Yep.
And
Right?
here in the Triangle area, all of our black businesses are doing
Mm,
very well. They've been
mm,
in business a long time, and I think it's the area. It's the different areas because where my restaurant was, it was a small town that had a history,
mm.
and then here, um, these restaurants do very well because it's such a melting pot of people. You have all the universities in this area, and some of those black restaurants are now, as of last year, two of them, Zueli's, which a plate of oxtails is $28, is now located in the bottom floor of the Divinity School at Duke University.
Wow.
Okay. Okay.
So they do and the Bayou Cafe, which is a coffee spot that's black owned. They're now at the Duke University. So they do very well because of the area. So I really
Okay.
think it's the area. And I have never, most of their staff is black.
Okay.
And so I've never seen where there was a situation and most of their business is white,
Mhm.
not us.
Mm. And let me ask you the food, is it upscale or is it soul food? What kind of menu choices?
Okay, Zweli's is South African food.
Okay. See, that's the
And
thing too. Okay.
and then her oxtails is delicious. I mean, the food is immaculate. The food, everything
Mm,
about it is good. The service is good, and the Bayou coffee shop is also their coffee is excellent. And then there's other multicultural restaurants. So many, like Viceroy is an Indian restaurant. The
mm.
service is excellent. The food is amazing. And so it's just a big melting pot of people, and you don't have that where you have to impersonate or have someone
Oh, yeah.
impersonate you to have good business. I think
Mm,
my worst customer base was us.
mm. See, that's
Yes,
the
I mean
problem.
on Fridays I had seafood buffet, snow crab
Mm,
legs, everything, cold bar, hot bar, salad bars, and it'll be a family of six come in, six grown people, and only three expected to pay for the
mm.
buffet. But everybody got crabble.
Was eating off.
Yeah, and then they got nerve to argue with you and say, well, this is not Ichabod or some Chinese. So that should mean even more to you.
Yep.
See,
Yep.
that's the problem. You see, this is the thing again where sometimes we're our own worst enemy and we're wanting the solution, but we're creating the problems. You know what I'm saying? It's like it really doesn't make sense. And again, we sometimes are helping the big retailers do what they do to
Yes.
us. You understand? Because again, just like AP mentioned, just having the word Italy, just the word Italy on a T-shirt will make someone feel like they're part of that group. They're part of that Jones faction. You know what I mean? Like, I made it.
Yep.
And I've seen it 1,000 times over and over. Look, just yesterday, I'm watching Cameron asked, was it Talk Fleet or Axe Fleet?
Yep.
His talk show that he has, right? And one of his co-hosts had a Balenciaga shirt, and Cam asked him, "Do you support that?" The dude's like, "Well, what do you mean?" He's like, "Do you support that brand?" It's like, I don't care about the brand. Obviously, you do. Don't say you don't care about it, because if that's the case, you wouldn't have bought it. He's
It's a
telling him,
$300 T-shirt.
yeah, he's telling him, "Oh, I buy whatever I like how it looks. I don't buy it for the brand." Stop it. Stop it.
You won't have no shirt that says umfufu on it.
You know what I'm saying? Stop it. Don't say that. We could have gave you the same design, and like you said, it could have said umfufu on it, but it didn't have that attachment. I remember when Tom Ford, Jay-Z dropped the song Tom Ford.
Everybody.
Out the roof. Okay? Tom Ford, I thought this was an actor or somebody. I never heard of no Tom Ford before that, because I'm not into all of that. I don't care about that. But the minute that happened, oh my God, out the roof. I went to Oakland, and everyone, Tom Ford, I need Tom Ford. It's like Tom Ford is probably sitting at home like, he's, he just got a reinsurgent. He's like, yo, I was just about to put one foot in the ground, and they just woke me back up. Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
For real.
I never heard of this brand, this person, whoever this person is, but just by him saying that. But that's the problem. Remember when LL dropped the FUBU situation on the Gap commercial? That's what we need. Because all the black-owned brands, businesses, all these different things, for some reason, it just goes nowhere.
FUBU's still in business. Many people don't know that. Yeah. FUBU is still in business in over 60-something countries right now. Still makes about $1.2, $1.3 billion a year. Still.
That's good.
Yep.
Right?
But the FUBU brand itself was sold, wasn't it?
No, they licensed it. They licensed
it to a Chinese guy. I thought it was a Chinese company or something like that bought them out. Or
no,
okay,
they licensed it.
Okay,
right. So they're licensed somewhat just like what Dwayne Wade did with his shoes, right?
Okay,
people got to look at numbers. They got billions of people in Asia, China primarily, right? So the Ling shoe is prominently sold over there more than it is here. You won't be able to find a Ling shoe in any of the stores here, but who's outselling a lot more of the other brands? The Ling, because you got about 3 billion people that are doing that. If you go anywhere in Asia, you'll see FUBU on these people like it's the same way. But the same thing that we do to our brands, like imagine if Cross Colors was still out right now.
Carl Kanai.
Carl Kanai. And Carl Kanai is back out. Right? But he took the route of what FUBU did. What FUBU did. And he has his brand licensed, and it's out. It's out. And he's making more money now than he made back then. But quiet as kept, it's not on every single kid
shelf,
right? Or shelves like that, because somehow we get tired of our brands.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
After the whole hype, as they call it, dies down, it's like we take it off and it's just rags to use something else. But how many times do you see them do that to Gucci?
Never. No. Hey, watch this, AP. I'm gonna do a throwback on Kate real quick. Kate.
Yes.
I still got my used jeans.
Yo, what?
Used jeans. You don't remember that brand? Used jeans? Used?
Uh-uh.
Nah.
I
AP,
beg your
AP, you
pardon.
might remember it. You don't remember that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I say somebody
I
showing
still
their
got my
age.
used jeans. That used jeans, it was a huge thing because they came out. They kind of,
Auntie telling
I
you she
guess,
on
kind
the
of helped to create that you remember when they used to have these little rips in the jeans and stuff?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so the
The
used
acid
jeans,
wash.
right, the acid and the different patches and different things. So used kind of created that little that ripped jeans kind of look where you would have a patch underneath the rip itself and it would say used jeans and all this stuff. But yeah, I got the throwback. So again, the supportive situation, and again, why a lot of these big retailers will keep doing what they're doing because again, they know our MO. When H&M and all these different brands used to put out these marketing things that they called a snafu or a my bad, you know, whether it be what was it? One was a monkey
Yeah.
with the kids,
Oops.
you know,
Bad.
different things of that nature. And when the Gucci situation came around and a lot of these celebrities said we're not buying it for what was it
24 hours?
24 hours or something, it's like okay. Redman said
Man.
something the other day on his new the Muddy Waters 2 album. He said financial wealth, keep the Gucci off your belt. And let that sink in for a minute. Because I know a lot of the younger heads that, if they listening to Redman, if they heard it, it went over their
So
head.
be like, who that?
You understand what I'm saying? Financial wealth, let the Gucci stay off your belt. So all that's telling everybody now, like really and truly, you don't, in order for you to gain, you can lose. You don't need that. Because when I went out in California, you're nobody without one of those belts. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have the Hermes belt, the Gucci belt, the whatever other belts,
Louis.
the Louis belt, everything's about the buckle and the brand that's on the belt itself. If everyone out there has to have a belt to say that I'm somebody.
Everybody got a belt on, but ain't keeping up their pants. Ain't that something?
You know what I'm saying? So you think about that. You understand what I'm saying? But because they know where we're at. So again, the power's in the dollar. But unfortunately, who made the assessment? I think it was Dr. Umar when he broke it down, when he said that for blacks, as far as the consumption, alcohol, we give them X amount of billions,
Yep.
right? When it comes to the vehicles, we are ahead of the game. He said Mercedes, I believe it was at the time, was probably the number one thing in the black household that
Yeah.
sold X amount, you know.
Gotta have a Mercedes.
Sneakers,
Gotta have the first J.
clothing, everything. We surpass on everything. And
Yeah.
again, but the respect level and everything else is not there. You go
Yeah,
into
but
one of these Gucci stores still, to this
And
day, you'll
it's-
have a rapper or somebody tell you the horror stories of them being followed or anything. I mean, Oprah herself went through something at a diamond store.
Yeah.
You
In
know
Chicago.
something though, John?
Yeah.
Like I swear that I think that a lot of these high end people or companies are playing a joke on us because if you look at Balenciaga, as you were just saying, Balenciaga has a new sneaker out, right? And it is probably two to three
Sizes above.
sizes bigger than the
Oh,
average shoe. It's a big monstrosity looking type of shoe, right?
oh. I think
It's a
I saw it.
sneaker,
They want to
okay?
wear it.
I think I
Right?
saw it.
They want to wear it.
They want to wear that with some
You know,
tight,
They
the other
want to
day I
wear it,
was
right?
tight jeans.
And
I was up in
the
West
price is
Palm Beach.
$3,000.
Yeah, I was up in West Palm Beach in one of these areas, right? These rich areas, right? I saw, yo, that had to be it. Cause yo, I'm there with my man and I'm sitting there and I'm like, this female passed by. So he's like, check this one out. I'm like, check this out. Yo, have you seen? So it looked like she got a size 15 shoes. So I said, yo, that might be suspect. So it just might have been a bit of Balenciaga shoes or something.
Yeah.
Yo,
But even to go further, man. Look. You ever seen? I watch these white people, man, laugh at some of these rappers, right? And I'm looking at them. I'm like, man, why are they laughing? And one of the men said to me, listen, I don't understand why they're driving their own Maybach. Why are they driving their own Maybach? They're driving their Maybach, and then they have a Rolls Royce that they're driving the Rolls Royce, and it's a big roll. Like, just think about this. Like, Mr. Magoo used to drive a Rolls Royce. Was he driven in that vehicle? Right. So back in the day, it was to get the Benz, BMW, Audi. Now, those are what they classify as the baby mama car, or like.
Yeah.
So they played
Alexa.
with us so bad. Like, there's that video of that young lady that had this man come pick her up for a date, and he's in a BMW X6, and she's starts berating him, telling him she's not getting in a BMW because it wasn't to her standards. Right. Once again, we're living in a time that, man,
it's a nice guy.
It's exactly. I would have been gone.
This nice guy. I would have said, "I
Like,
foot drag."
please get
Foot
out
dragger.
of here. Man, it's keeping up with the times, with the Joneses, but it's not even the Joneses anymore. It's not even the Jeffersons. It's something else.
So
It's just like the kids.
let me ask Kate now. Let me ask you something real quick. And I know this really,
Uh-huh.
I don't want to say it doesn't pertain to you, but it's kind of outside of your lane a little bit. So now, being a female on the panel for tonight, and I know you hunt, and I know you're a go-getter on your own, but like AP said, we saw you styling last week. You know what I'm saying? So now, let's move to the cosmetic portion of things. The hair, the nails, all these different things that a lot of females are helping. Because when we look at a lot of the retailers that have these different hair texture and different brands and different things of that nature, it's not too many of us behind the counter that owns it.
Good.
Not working. That owns it. Okay.
I was about to say Fendi, but
You know, it's not too many. If there is one or two independent person, again, the suppliers, the distributors, and all these different things, it's not really us. Again, the hair itself is not even,
you got Diana Ross.
Diana Ross.
Daughter.
The daughter.
Yeah, she had a hair brand.
But again, I don't know it. You don't know it. We don't. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a female out there would know it. But what I'm saying, compared to all the other brands, the elegant beauties and all these different things that's out there, the thing with it now is how do you go against that now? Because a female now, when you tell them on a mass scale, cut back, we're gonna go boycott that situation. What's the outcome for that?
Well, we have a lot of young women, women of all ages in our culture that are now making their own hair products, now making their own wigs, now doing more faux locks if they don't want to go completely into locks.
Mm-hmm.
So we're doing more things on our own. And I'm very proud to say, and I will be purchasing her products. It's a young lady that's in college that started a whole beauty brand called You nice.
You nice.
You nice. Mm-hmm. And
Got you.
she's still in college.
Mm.
And her business has grown tremendously in the last 2 years.
Do you know where she's located?
No, but I can look that up and send that information to you.
Yeah,
But I
we
mean her business and her quality, her items, the free little gifts she sends with her items, she is doing she's going to be amazing. And there's so many new black designers, um beauty salons, and also salons for men
hmm
that is us, that we're the owners, that the products use. Like right here in Durham, there's a husband and wife, and I'm trying to remember because I went and took pictures, and I asked them that when I started my podcast that I wanted to showcase them.
hmm
But they make soaps,
Okay.
herbal soaps, and also, but they have soap making classes and fragrance making classes, but they all around the walls is about us. It's like
Mm.
it's photographs, it's history, the books they have in there.
Nice.
So it's a lot of things that we as a culture are doing. Wine, we're making wine now. We also have nail bars where you can come in to just get your nails done.
hmm That's
and, and we own it, we work there, and we want people to patronize it. We're doing something to give back. There's a lot of black farmers, like here in my area. There's a black farmers market,
hmm
and
that's
there's
nice.
also there are black farmers that are making hair products and wines.
That's not. And you know what? I
Just like
would like.
Tabitha Brown just made the vegan wine.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So we're doing a lot of things, and we're doing it more frugally now.
There's a few others that I do know that started some wine companies also.
I
There's
mean, 'cause
actually one in California that I went to that very nice, very nice. I'll get the name and post it, but very very upscale. But again, it's an uphill situation, even with the location, you know. But again, we hope that even with a lot of these startup companies and stuff, that it don't end up. You remember Carol's daughter?
yes,
Yeah.
Okay, because everyone was fully on board, supportive. Then afterwards, what they sold out. They sold it to
yeah,
another,
not
company
a
and stuff.
person of color.
And that's the thing. It's like we've
And
seen that.
most of those companies have done that. Most of those companies, and even goods, vegetables.
Mhm.
It's a farm that man created $1 billion farm business, and he sold it.
Now again, can you? All right, so let's play devil's advocate. Can you blame them?
No,
You know what I'm saying? Because again,
Yeah, because he's already established a generational wealth. Because the part that he sold, because the commercials are still people in his family in the commercials, but no, I
yeah,
I I,
I mean,
I don't.
but
because
I mean, it's
here's
you
the
not.
know,
issue.
you could do what Rihanna did, right? Because the Carol's daughter was bought by, I believe it was Revlon.
Mm,
It wasn't Revlon itself, but it was a company under Revlon that did their
Hmm.
maneuvering, and they try to do the same thing with Fenty,
mm.
right? Which LVMH is the one that distributes Fenty, but she just partnered with them, right? There's another part that sometimes we don't see, that a lot of these businesses get into business to build it up, 10x it to be able to sell it,
Yeah.
because when they do sell it, the people keep on the founders to help run it up to a certain amount of years, and then they exit.
Mhm.
But then they're able to in their minds, oh, I'm gonna be able to create another thing. But the way that the market works is they try to get anybody that's going to mess with their bottom line and buy them out so that they could take that product and let that product sit and then not do the same numbers but get another type of product just like that under their main brand, and they keep going. It's about money. It's about money, man.
And when I said, can we blame him? It's not so much to say that, but what it really was the fact that you could sit here on one hand and say, I have BET, and this is black owned and operated by us, for us, and everything. And then now,
but no, they sold it.
No, I know. But the example I'm making is the fact that we could take that and say, okay, we're gonna ride this out. This is for my people. This is for everyone here. I created this for us, so we'll have our own news, we'll have our own this, we'll have our own entertainment, because initially that's what it was. And we saw as soon as it was sold. But again, can that person that owns it now, is he getting up every day and rolling the dice and wondering, is this going to be a woo wear, what's it called, rocker wear, and all these other ones that end up in Burlington or something, and nobody's, you know what I'm saying? Like, or do I get rid of it before it gets to that point? Take what I can get out of it, and then go enjoy life, and then start another one, like AP said. When a lot of times we see that a lot of them don't end up starting another one. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, but you made a good example with BET, because BET, Bob Johnson tried to do just that, and he found out that it was strategic and why they got BET, because 2 years ago, Byron Allen, okay, he made a bid to buy BET, okay, and he was paying, I think it was 30% more than they were asking for. They didn't sell it to him. Because at the end of the day, they don't want it back in our hands.
Even though Byron Allen owns a lot of, but go ahead. Yeah.
But they don't want it back in our hands because they know what that mechanism is. And BET owns VH1 now. So they were getting VH1.
Viacom itself owns all of them.
Yeah. No, but Viacom sold it off to forgot the other company, but that other company still to this day are not selling it to any of us. And right now they're actually listening to there's a group with Jeff Bezos and the other individual that are in to trying to buy it. That's why Byron Allen sued them.
Oh yeah, I remember.
So,
yeah.
Okay,
so it's
and that whole suit.
Paramount.
There you go, Paramount. That whole suit is showing that, hey, I was buying or trying to buy this asset, but you didn't want to sell it to me, and I was giving you 30% more dollars for that asset, and now you're going to sell it to somebody that's paying 30% under what the asset is valued for. So they have a good, they had one until that Trump got in and he pulled out a bunch of these judges, fired a bunch of the judges that were just appointed, for civil rights judges and all that stuff. So it's a different game that's being played, man. A different game, because they understand clearly that, man, that BET was able to control whatever. Because look at this, Ed Gordon. Y'all remember Ed Gordon from BET? Okay.
Of course.
So they finally got Ed Gordon back on BET, doing a news night, right? Now this was during the pandemic. They had Ed Gordon and a few other, and it was said that Donnie Green Eyes was supposed to come back and stuff like that. They deaded all that stuff. They they deaded it because of what? They didn't want to see new programming. So what do you see on BET now? You see the old Sambo
Yep.
songs. I mean, not songs. TV shows
Yep.
and stuff like that. You don't see new progressive anything that's showing any positivity at all. Now, think if you had a tool like BET, right? What it can actually do, and just think about what hip hop would be able to do right now in politics. You know, so strategically, they're playing chess when we sitting here trying to play Chinese checkers. Like,
Right.
it just doesn't make any sense. But it's supposed to be like that because right now we think that we can have the monies and we can have the clothes and we can have the the everything that there is, right? But come on, we can't even own the freaking marijuana that we so lovingly want to smoke, right? No, not even that.
Nope.
Come on now. Come on now.
Yo, we saw a shift in the
Why we
dynamics of
can't?
everything. Don't
What do you
tell
say, Kate?
Say why we can't.
Why
You said why we can't?
I'm buying a farm. I'm growing it. So why we can't?
Well, I mean,
Hey, AP,
when I
we
say
moving to North Carolina.
shoot, boy, just let me know. But I'll give you an example in Florida, for example. Um, the lady that controls Publix,
Mm.
her and her friends are classified as minorities, right? So when the licenses for marijuana came out, since they were classified as minorities because they're white women, they were able to go in and buy up to 90% of the licenses.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. And in doing that, then they were able to disseminate to who those things went to. And primarily they did it because one of their family members was overdosed on drugs and they didn't want it to be out in everywhere and this and that. But there's a monopoly that surrounds it here in Florida, which some of the other states it happens to as well. But they don't want us to be in the mix of ownership on a larger scale. So, for example, in Florida, you got the Marley brothers, and that's it. That's
But you
it.
know, I mean, I don't really like the whole I mean, I like to support black businesses, but I also like some things that white businesses have. And they value my dollar that I give to them. So I don't want to be all out separating because to me we're one nation, one race, the human race. Now the only thing I want to separate us from is racism, which is equals white supremacy. So I feel as though like when I share about black owned businesses, I share them with everyone, white, black, green. You know, they need everyone can patronize, but to separate ourselves, I think we're too big of a planet to try doing that now. Maybe back in the '60s, but now I don't think that's feasible anymore because we have intermingled too much.
Yeah, but I wasn't saying separating it. I was just saying have equity in it.
Yeah, but
There
but
should
even
be
when
some leeway to be able to then get. They didn't even let Montel Williams get any licenses to do his tinctures, for example, right? And he had to leave Florida to go to Colorado to be able to do it. I'm talking about things like that, right? Like
Mhm.
it's if we own it, then we're going to help it go down and stuff like that. But I mean, you got those rappers, all those rappers that say they got their own weed and stuff like that, man. They are just the face of a lot of these brands.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that have it. So yeah, you're right.
Oh well, you know my face is gonna be Grandma Ganja.
Yeah. I'll be your tester. Just let me know.
That's why I said, hey, just put a little corner in that farm for us right there. Me and AP and Blackout. You know
and
what
look,
I mean?
and you know okay, see, I just went through a festival last weekend. It was the Body, Mind, and Spirit. And it was so many people, and it was people of all races. And it was so much, the energy was so high and the love was there for everyone.
I'm sure they were high.
No, it wasn't a weed festival. It was it was body, mind, and spirit, like crystals and meditation, chiropractors and high vibrations, divine feminine, goddess energy. So it's an annual festival. But what I'm saying is that no one looked at someone for the color of their skin.
That's the thing. Yeah, I love being at situations like that.
No one cared about anyone's political party.
Should be like that right now. I love being at functions just with people that have. That's why I say again, I want everyone to get this full understanding that when we're speaking and when we're talking about things, it's not a separation thing. It's just bringing light to what is a problem. That's all it is. Bringing awareness to what the problem is with a lot of things.
Pro-black does not mean anti-white, and people need to understand that in every which way possible. Pro-black does not mean anti-white.
Yeah, and then what's happening is about a group of people wanting to be dominant based on racism, which is the form of white supremacy. So I have to, and I get so upset having to explain to people over again. I don't like white supremacists. So if you have white supremacy views, then I don't like you. But that's not saying that I don't like white people. And it's like so hard. I don't know if they're just trying to pick at that little piece. Like, no, that doesn't work. That's not the issue. And see that when I say, because we have, when I say we've intermingled, and we have so many interracial couples of different races. So it's too late for us to say, oh, hold up, we want all y'all to go over there. Because then, how are we gonna I'm not splitting my grandsons up, my grandkids up, okay? So I don't want that. I want the white supremacy to be eradicated. And for the rest of us to unite and try to get through these 4 years together. And it's coming to that. I'm watching it. I'm listening to it. I talk to people. Some people will come up and want to discuss things or want my opinion. And people are concerned, especially the ones that voted for him. They are so apologetic and wanting to cry on your shoulder and everything. And this is a time for us to just right now, for us to be behind the scenes, strategically planning the next step, but watch what's going on.
Yeah.
Because right now, watch and take note. But we also have to be smart. We got to make sure we have you got to make sure you have packs of waters in your house, non-perishable foods, because it's going because food. It's coming. Yeah. It's coming. Yes, it's definitely coming. It's coming and deleting law enforcement officers' files that have civil rights violations against them. That means that they can go and reapply and get a job.
Yep.
People don't. They really don't understand what's coming. But
yeah, so we got to think. We got to think. And then look at this weather. This is crazy. But the main thing, the thing that is like hurting my heart when I was having a debate with someone, and he said he made a valid point when he said, "You're worried about sundown towns and white people killing us, but what about the black on black crime?" And it's like I felt like I got kicked in the throat. I'm like, because I live in Durham.
Can I jump on that for a quick second, because I know we're closing out.
Oh,
that individual, I would love to sit down and have a conversation with that individual, because that individual would have to understand and take it back to the origin and understand that this is not something that we just got up and we just start wilding out on each other with all this stuff. This is stuff that has been planted. This is stuff that's been programmed. This is stuff that is reiterated. This thing regurgitated. It's all sorts of these different things. It's the area. It's the elements. It's the liquor stores in your area. It's the drugs we dropped in your area. It's so many things. Like, stop it. At the end of the day, yes. At the end of the day, we do have that situation going on. But let's keep it real. Where did it start from? Where did it start from? Because we as a people, we're loving people that always embrace and always took in. And for instance, AP makes this point all the time. Most nannies to whites are people are either Caribbean, blacks, Hispanics, or something of that nature, and they're the nurturers. You understand? So for the male portion of things that are in these neighborhoods doing these black on black crimes and different things, listen. Again, these are taught behaviors. These are things that is not something we just got up and we just went wilding and stuff. No. So if we're gonna break it down, let's sit down and fully break it down. Because everything that's going on in Chicago, Detroit, New York, Miami, and all these places, it's not by accident. It's just now that when it starts to spill out and it's coming near to your doorsteps, it's a problem now. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
AIDS wasn't an issue back in the days until Warhol and all these other celebrities that these big celebrities knew. Now all of a sudden we have what was the big one that Michael Jackson and all them did? We Are the World and all these other things. Prior to that, no one cared. You understand? Right. Because it didn't come to their doorsteps. So tell that individual, please, there's an invite waiting. And if you want to really break it down, let's do a full-out experiment where we will do, and I want him to be a part of it. Your paycheck, I'm taking that. I'm going to put you in the worst areas. You're going to starve for however long I feel you should starve, and I want to see if you're going to go steal an apple or anything from the local store. Because if you did, you're a thief, right? No, you're surviving. Two different things. Hey, and if I put you in a suppressed situation, you're going to end up doing that. But go ahead, AP.
Imagine if a cruise ship was leaving South Florida's ports and it was headed to Italy. But instead of it going to Italy, it got rerouted to a country in Africa. Mm. And then they take all the non-African people off the boat and make them indentured servants in that country in Africa. That would be the only thing that would make people understand what in the world is going on. And I believe those are some of the things that some of these people think in their mind, like, man, there's going to be one day that some of these people are going to wake up and they're going to get us back for everything that we've done. Because when I hear things like people say that thing of, oh, well, I hear you guys saying all this stuff, but what about the black on black crime? Man, and I let them know every single time, you deflected back to this, but you cannot answer anything about your crime because your crime is still at 67% for what you guys do to yourselves. Yeah. Right? And they don't talk about the white on white crime because white on white crime is rampant. Right?
It's not newsworthy either.
It's not newsworthy. And once again, you're not going to make put an APB on yourself on TV. It's never going to happen. You're never going to see a CEO raise up his hand and say, hey, I'm wrong. And this needs to be changed. The only time that happened was George Floyd. I like to remind everybody, the first time it's ever happened in the world where the whole world turned against white men was George Floyd. And when they saw that happen, they saw how it happened and they attacked those that did it. Right now, you don't hear nothing woke. You don't want to hear nothing woke. They changed that whole meaning. You don't want to hear nothing Black Lives Matter, nothing. They act like Black Lives Matter worse than KKK.
Yes.
You know, funny thing about it, I heard Bill Cosby made a statement on a show that he was on. He was being interviewed, and he stated the same thing. He's like, these news organizations report about black on black crimes all the time, but we don't hear about it when anything happened with the Caucasians or anything like that, because you guys make it where it's newsworthy. It's just something that for some reason it just sensationalized when a black man just did one thing. White guy could do the same exact thing, but it just magnifies by so much. And unfortunately, our own people are brainwashed with that same situation. And that's the sad part about it.
Feeding into the fear.
So that's why I'm saying, again, you know, that individual, please, if you can get to him, tell him, yeah, he's welcome. We can have that discussion. I would love it. I would definitely love it. But in closing out, I want to thank everyone for joining tonight. I'm hoping that the financial blackout can go further and we can accomplish more on a wide scale. So let's keep our fingers crossed on that. Once again, I want to thank everyone for joining us. Kate Smith, AP, myself, John, Black IT, Q. Take a Benadryl. All right. So once again, you can find us on all the platforms, live at the Barbershop every Friday night, 9 p.m. Be there or be square. Please go out in the world and be somebody. And please hit the notification bell, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. And Kate, hold that spot in the corner for me, AP, and Black IT. All right. God bless and good night.
God bless. Good night.
All right. Thank you.
Good night.
Go out in the world and be somebody.